When I'm recruiting people, inevitably it comes down to this, Cody. And this is the exact dialogue I have with people. So let's pretend I'm recruiting you and let's role play here for a minute.
Yep.
Okay, Cody. So you're feeling pretty good about, you want to get in the insurance industry, you want to move forward.
Yeah, I've looked at a bunch of different places. I like what you guys are doing. I've really been wanting to find a place in a home that I can start succeeding, making some money and take care of my family.
Good. Well, I think that's great. If you want me to personally coach you, which I'm willing to do, but it's going to cost you.
How much?
See, and I always know people think it's money. I knew it. Darin wants my money.
Yeah.
No, I don't want your money. But if you want me to coach you, here's what you need to show me from day one. From today forward, this is what you must show me. Number one.
What is up? Welcome back to the CA Power Player Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins. Today we got a special guest who's been on the channel a bunch over the years. He's a freaking bad dude, man, in a good way. Normally he's in Boise, Idaho. Today he's hanging out in Catalina Island, showing off the life.
We are,
Darin
brother.
Stubbs, welcome back, baby.
We're in Avalon, California. Maybe
That's
some
awesome.
of you remember, I'm a trumpet player. Love that jazz music. Jazz Treks Jazz Festival, 38th year, right here at the Avalon Casino. And yes, there's no gambling. Casino's a Latin word for gathering place. One of the best jazz festivals of the whole country, the whole jazz season, right here in Avalon, California. 2 weeks every year. And I just got in yesterday, Cody. And because of this business, because of the insurance business, imagine that, I can afford to rent a place that is more in a week than most people's house payment in a month for 2 weeks, sit here on the deck, brew my morning coffee, do emails, talk to customers and clients, mentor and coach people. And yesterday when I got here, we went down to the beach and sat on the beach and had a, let's be honest, a liquid, tasty adult beverage as the sun was setting that way over the mountains. And it's just great. I mean, the insurance industry is such a blessing. So true residual income. And I always tease people, look, Wi-Fi, cell phone, hotspot, laptop, I'm in business. Doesn't matter where I'm sitting. So today I'm sitting on Middle Terrace Road, several hundred feet up, overlooking the city, doing a podcast with my good friend Cody.
That's right, man, dude. You are amazing. Also, for those that are new to Darin, man, his agency is blowing up. He is someone that is always written hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. He's probably made like $1 million on his own pen, in a year a few times. Like maybe he got close or whatever. Like this dude,
my own pen, but.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? But you know what's cool is even cooler to do it for a bunch of people, and that's what you're doing.
That's the best part, and our business is really exploding. Last year was my 7th year, and our agency did 5.6 million last year, the whole year. Pretty nice number, with about 300 and something active writers. Well, it's October, and we're pushing 7 million with about 400 writers. So we got a lot of great people. One of my teams, with a good friend, I started in Boise. The first guy I called when I found out about the industry, good buddy, Eric Ondrick. We've been friends about 30 years, mortgage guy, super brilliant, super smart. And I said, hey, Eric, do you remember, back in the late 1990s and early 2000s, how we could like blink and make 25, 30, 40 grand a month in the mortgage business? He goes, oh yeah, dude, those days are never coming back. I'm like, whoa, time out. I bumped into something, Symmetry Financial, IMO, field underwriting, insurance, life insurance, final expense, and retirement planning with 401ks. And so that started the journey. And then from there, this guy responded to a Craigslist ad up in Spokane, Steven Jackson, and his business exploding. And to another Craigslist ad, to a guy in Fresno, Chris Leak, who's just probably one of the smartest guys in the industry, super analytical, very quiet. He's one of those quiet guys that doesn't talk much. Versus, like me, chatterbox. But his brilliance is second to none. And he wrote and scripted 22 hours of training for our agency. Soup to nuts, by far the best insurance training in the industry. No one can touch it. And you take a new agent and you run them through that, plus everything that Symmetry has, and it's just crazy. And then he was running another ad for a guy up in Spokane, a Craigslist ad, this guy named Craig McManaman. Now, Craig McManaman is a name that's kind of blowing up in the industry because this guy,
Dude,
started at the very beginning of the Symmetry journey. 80% commissioned at the very beginning, day one. And in 29 months, became a full partner into the top comp in 29 months, Cody. And he's
Jeez.
breaking out agency owners that just keep tearing down. So from me to the latest agency owner, a wonderful lady named Bree Orion, it's 9 people in a row that are agency owners without a break in the hierarchy. 9 in a row, Cody.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So something's working right in the
Yeah.
back agency. And it's not, and in truth, I can't take credit for that. I gotta stay humble here. I mean, I think I went to Spokane 3 times in the very beginning over a series of like 6 months, maybe a year. I made a couple phone calls. I've done Zoom meetings. And one of the best coaching decisions I made for myself was when I realized these guys had the talent, the skill, the will, and the horsepower. I just backed
Mm.
off. You know, a lot of guys want to stay in there, right? And because their ego will get you. And maybe we should talk about that pride, ego,
Yes.
narcissism. We might. I know earlier you and I were kind of bantering back and forth, but man, that's something that we should talk about more. And
100%.
so I think we're on
How
a
how do you
runway.
see that?
What's that?
Like, how do you see that? Because like what you're saying is 100% true. Like, I feel like the biggest hack in our industry, hack, is to find and plug into a mentor and be coachable and do what they do what they
Yes,
say, learn from them,
yes.
stick by them. Um, how do they find someone, and how do you weed through whether they're going to be the right fit?
Yeah, you know what's interesting is I'm out on the deck right now. My computer bag is right inside there, and actually, maybe let me check. Might have just a little bit of noise because I have a word picture to show you how I do that. If I have my deck of cards right here in my bag, which I know
Let's
it's in my
go.
other bag. It's in my other bag. Yeah, but you know, you take a look at a deck of cards, and how many cards are there? And there's
52.
52, and you can shuffle it until Jesus comes back, and there's still only going to be 52 cards. So what I learned about recruiting from one of my mentors, Kyle Kimbrell, who I came into the industry with 8.5 years ago out of
Also a great dude. Yep.
superstar, massive agency.
Amazing.
Our agency, you know, we're on track for about 9 million this year. That's just one piece of one part of his whole agency. And we started on the same day. I mean, the guy just got hitters, Tony Capistrano, me, Sean Kemp, Frank, Brennis, and a bunch of other, and Stefan Brennis. I mean, you know, just serious players spread out all across the country. And I think this year we'll do about 9 and he'll do probably 30.
Mm,
So yeah, Kyle knows what he's doing. And he
cool.
ran a national team for prepaid legal, and Legal Shield had 76,000 agents. And I think he sold over 1,000 of those little prepaid legal insurance programs. But he talks about the difference between an amateur and a pro. Amateurs try to sell and convince people. Professionals, yeah, well, we sort and find.
Mm,
Sort and find. And you can always find someone because, you know, if I had the deck of cards and I could run in there, but I don't want to interrupt the podcast here, but, and you short and you shuffle and maybe do this at home. If you're watching this, grab a deck of cards, shuffle it, and then start flipping it. 2, 7, 9, Jack. Oh, Jack, timeout. Aces and faces. 4 jacks, 4 queens, 4 kings, 4 aces. Those are the only people I recruit now, Cody. And when I'm recruiting now, if you want me, Darin, to personally mentor you, I'm trying to blow you out within the second Zoom. I'm trying to get rid of you. I'm trying to lean
mm,
in hard on you because if you're going to blow out anyway, I'd rather have you blow out right now in the beginning versus me investing 6 months of my time, money, energy, resources, intellectual property. Because what's the one commodity we can't get back, Cody?
time.
Time. That's right, time. So you remember my CEO mindset speech that I've given, and I'm really humbled that I keep getting asked to give it. And the book is almost done, and,
Yes.
and then we're going to start that whole
I was
tour again.
wondering. I was wondering
Yes.
about the book because you've given that speech so many freaking times.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I've adapted it and changed it. But when I get to Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, and then I Darinized it, I symmetryized it for the symmetry business model. And I know there's people
Yep.
from different companies watching this podcast, and that's cool. You know, and much success to you.
Amen.
You know, you work on your business, and I'm going to work on mine. I'm not going to pilfer what you got, and don't do it to me. I mean, there's plenty of people out there. We don't have to do this anymore. You remember a few years
Mm,
back, there's a lot of discord in the industry. I'm so glad most of that is gone now. And
yeah.
you know, thanks to people like you who are trying to elevate the industry and the reason for these podcasts. But in that slide, I talk about ROI, ROO, and ROT. Return on investment. Everyone knows that one. Well, what about return on the opportunity cycle? I think when we're warming up, we might come back to that one. Why it's such a good time to get in the insurance industry right now.
Yeah.
The most important one is the ROT, return on time, because you can't get that one back. You know, you and
Mm,
I are going to spend 45 minutes, and this will be edited down to whatever it is, and published. But that's time we can't get back. So for those of you watching it, thank you from me and from Cody for taking the time to listen to us, because maybe you can get something out of
yeah.
this. But to your point, when I'm recruiting people, inevitably it comes down to this, Cody. And this is the exact dialogue I have with people. So let's pretend I'm recruiting you and let's role play here for a minute.
Yep.
Okay, Cody. So you're feeling pretty good about you want to get in the insurance industry and you want to be involved with Symmetry Financial, and that's you want to move forward.
Yeah, I've looked at a bunch of different places. I like what you guys are doing. I've really been wanting to find a place and a home that I can start succeeding, making some money, and take care of my family.
Good. Well, I think that's great. If you want me to personally coach you, which I'm willing to do, but it's going to cost you.
How much?
See, and I always know people think it's money. I knew it. Darin wants my money.
Yeah.
No, I don't want your money. But if you want me to coach you, here's what you need to show me from day one, from today forward. This is what you must show me. Number one, you have to be humble, coachable, teachable, trainable. Now, I know those are synonyms, but they actually all mean slightly different things, right? If you're trying to
Yeah.
assimilate so much information, you got to be able to do that. And they also have to act and live in integrity. And what's great
Mm,
about our company is because we underwrite for so many different carriers, I don't have to bend a client to make money. Hey, if they don't qualify for this program because their medications are too many, or they had a DUI 9 years ago, or some other condition, they qualify for X, which means the price goes up. Then just show the client what they qualify for. You don't have to bend someone to slightly break the rules to get an approval. I catch you doing that, I will terminate you. Boom. I won't even look back. I'll delete you, block you, and erase you. You're gone out of my life. So
mm,
you have to have that integrity thing, and you have to choose to do that. That's the 5 easy ones. You want the 4 hard ones, Cody?
sure.
Okay. Number 1, you of your own free will must consciously choose to surrender to a process. We were just talking about one of my teams that's 9 in a row, and the 10th is about to break out. 10 agency owners in a row of recruits. So I would say our recipe, would you say it's working or not, Cody?
It's working.
All right. So why would you come in here? Now, I know you've had a lot of business acumen. I know you've had a lot of success in your previous business, and I want you to bring that acumen with you. But if you're not humble and coachable and you don't surrender to our process, how are you supposed to start at the beginning and work your way through the system if you're not willing to surrender to a process? That's
Mm,
number 1 on the hard thing. Number 2, for the love of Jesus, you must follow instructions. I know you're very smart. I know you've been wildly successful, but you're not good at our program yet.
yeah.
Not yet. Okay. Third one is you're still going to work your ass off. You're still going to grind. But
Mm,
if you're looking at the insurance industry and you're watching this podcast, truly, let me tell you what Symmetry is not compared to what it is. Okay. It is not a 3 to 5 day program, Cody. It's not 3 to 5 weeks. It's not 3 to 5 months. It's 3 to 5, listen carefully, years. If you can give me 3 to 5 years of consistent effort from a heart space of humility, coachability, willingness to surrender to the process, and you're going to follow instructions, you're going to work your tail off, and then here's the hardest one. You have to be willing to receive coaching. Yeah, ladies, I'm doing a football signal. It's football season, college football. Receive. I mean, how many guys do you know they're super talented, Cody, but their ego just won't let them receive any coaching? Do you
yeah.
see that? 'Cause I see it all the
Oh,
time.
so many. So
It's
many.
tragic.
It is. It is. On that note, so I love that. Like, hey, here's what we look for. Here's what we like to see in agents. If an agent is maybe they're auditing different places in the industry.
Okay.
Wow,
I just had a guy that came on my team. That's what he's been doing.
how do they vet the mentor? What advice would you give to them? What to say? What
Sure.
to ask? Who to talk to? All those things.
Excellent question, because it is a two-way street. It's like a marriage. It's like a
Yeah,
relationship. I know that sounds a little weird, but hey, we're going to get tight. We're going to get close. That doesn't mean that we might not have words once in a while. Symmetry has our
sure.
core values, the 8 core values. So if you're looking for someone, like I've recruited people from one particular competitor that just said they don't want to do that anymore. I didn't go in there. They came to me. And, they're just like hatchet men over there. And that's fine. They produce, and do whatever it takes and work a million hours a day and say whatever you got to say to get the deal done and get your trophy and get your commission. And that's fine for some people. That's not what I do. Every night when I put my head on the pillow, I know all the money I made today was righteous, clean money. I did
Mm,
not fib. I didn't bend, because I have value. I have the core values. The wind can blow that way. I'm not changing the direction of my moral compass. So that's an excellent question, Cody. I mean, that's very lucid, actually. So if you're looking at this video and you're talking to a recruiter and maybe something doesn't quite feel 100% with you, don't be afraid to ask some questions, or heck, crying out loud, call me. Google my name, go to my podcast, whatever it is, go to my website. But I think having core values. So like for Symmetry, it's not just a piece of paper, printed out and on the lunchroom, break room wall. It's something we live by. Number
Mm.
one, relationships matter. People come first, not commissions, people. Number two, you as an individual agent must be 100% committed to relentless personal growth. That's why we have seminars. That's why we have podcasts. That's why we have Book of the Month. I'm rereading right now on the island. I just got here yesterday. 21 Immutable Laws of Leadership by
Mm.
John Maxwell. It's probably the fourth
Yeah.
time I've read it. And every time I read it as a mentor, as a coach, as a leader, I get new stuff. I'm thinking, man, I've read this book 3 or 4 times. How come? Because maybe I was not in a heart space and mind space and a humility space to receive what was coming off those pages the last time I read the book.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what, Darin, you read the same book more than once? Yeah. I think that's called studying, being a
Mm.
master of something. I look at John Maxwell and think, that guy is a master of mentorship and leadership. Would you agree with
Mm.
that premise?
1,000%.
Absolutely. So for me to say, well, I read his book once and I've seen him speak once, that's good enough. I've got everything John Maxwell's got to offer. That is like the height of arrogance and pride and ego and narcissism. And
It
that's not
is.
me. Did I used to act like that years ago? Yeah, I did. Because I made a lot of money in the mortgage business. Look at me, house, car,
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend, blah, blah. But man, when I found that heart space of humility, Cody, when I truly found that through relentless pursuit of personal growth and then open, honest, productive communication, that's number 3. We act like owners because we own it. Nothing more embarrassing from a mentor's point of view than talking to a grown woman or a grown man who blames everyone else for their lot in life. You're smirking because I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Cody, I went to a seminar and I tried what you said and it didn't work. It was a BS. Wait a minute. You went to one of Cody's seminars one time and maybe listen to one of the podcasts, and you think now, after one watch and one podcast and one view of a live seminar, you've mastered what Cody Askins has taken decades to master. And again, that to me, from my point, that's the height of arrogance, narcissism, and pride. Well, Cody, I went to one of your things and I tried it once and it didn't work. Well, maybe you're not good at it yet.
Mm.
Maybe you should come back to 8%. Maybe you should come back and watch more of the content that Cody produces. I mean, the guy's a master. So if you start to downstream that into your heart space and realize, okay, wait a minute. Yes, I've been successful at what I did before. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you're a badass at what you do. That's great. And you're going to trust me, you're going to need that drive. You are going to need that internal power because this
Yeah.
business will kick your ass. You're
Amen.
tough. We're going to find out how tough you are.
Yeah, you will.
What I see is grown men and women scared to death to make a phone call on a lead sheet. Like, hard work. You're telling me making a phone call, Cody, is hard work. Time out. Do you know where Fresno, California is, Cody?
I
Right
think
in the
so.
Central Valley,
Okay, got it.
down the I-5 or the Highway 99, middle of California, right? And most people associate really hot with Phoenix and Vegas. Well, let me tell you where it's really hot in California. Fresno.
Mm.
You think it's hard work? I'm going to ship your butt to Fresno in August when it's like 112, 114 degrees outside. It was 100 degrees the other day in Fresno, and it's October. It's still in the hundreds. And I'm going to make you work a sheetrock crew. You're going to hang gypboard on stilts, 4-foot by 12-foot sheets of gypboard that are half-inch thick. You're going to wear stilts, and you're putting it up on a 10-foot ceiling. And then coming behind you is the mud crew, and they're starting to mud all the walls. So the humidity is like 4,000%, and it's 120 degrees inside. And you're trying to carry this big piece of sheetrock all by yourself, put it up, and then start screwing it in. That, my brother, that's hard work.
Hey, man.
Making a phone call off of a lead sheet with a client that filled this out in their own handwriting. I'm sorry, Cody, but that is not hard work.
No.
I hear some construction crews out here. They're fixing a rock wall, and they're out there with jackhammers and pickaxes and backhoes, and it's hot, and they're out there right now. That's hard work. Sitting in your cushy office, drinking your mochaccino coppa latte, whatever the hell you put in your coffee, and dialing a couple people. And yeah, some people might tell you to F off. Okay. Some people might say, hey, I talked to someone else, my wife and I, we're just not interested anymore. Okay.
Mm.
Some people are going like, hey, yeah, man, I've been waiting. I filled that form out 4 times. I've been waiting for a month and a half for someone to call me back. My wife and I need to get some insurance. I swear to God, I've literally had all those things said to me over and over and over and over because that's the industry. So
Correct.
if you want to build a big business, and to your point of a very lucid question, what to ask when you're looking for a mentor, you might want to find someone that has some moral compass,
Mm.
because it's sometimes easy to make some easy, quick money. I've had people come in and hit a home run the first time at bat, bam, get some $7,000 IUL premium on their first phone call. It does happen. Now that doesn't happen very often, but it does happen to a rookie.
Oh,
So they make a big deposit and think they're all that. Well, the next week, let me see your activity report, because it all comes down to what you do. At bats, throwing touch, first downs, first down. Yes, it's great to throw the bomb, the 65-yarder, and score the touchdown. That's we all love it. And at Boise
true.
State, it happens all the time, man. Ashton Genty, 1,084 yards, 14 touchdowns, and he's only played 5 games. So it's pretty fun to watch the fireworks. But the grinding day-to-day little activities, Cody, you can speak to that. Which one's going to really make you wealthy? Throwing the big touchdown pass once in a while, which happens, or the daily grinding thing that over time adds up and multiplies. And then after, what did I say, 3 to 5 years, you have a big enough team. You've personally helped enough clients yourself. I mean, I'll just tell you the truth. I'm 8 years, 2 months, and what's the date today? 8th, 9th?
10th.
10th. Okay, so I'm 8 years, 2 months, and 10 days with Symmetry. Easy to figure. I started August 1st, 2016. I brought in about 525 clients. That's what I've personally done. Now, they threw a challenge out last week. All right, all the directs, all the agency owners, all the equity partners, you guys need to go back in the field because, hey, our home office is in Sawananoa, North Carolina. Building
Mm.
number 1 is gone. All of our home office employees, almost all of them, lost their home. Some
Gosh.
have severe damage, some have moderate, but most literally don't have a home anymore. Our building number 1 does not exist. We'll have to bulldoze what's left. And talk to Brandon Ellison just the other day. We were texting. Is Darin? It's catastrophic. So they threw a challenge out. Hey, let's go into the field. Let's make this last week the biggest week we've ever had. Each one of the agency owners and directs and the company take all that extra profit, and then we're literally going to give it to our home office employees to help them to rebuild their house now, instead of
That,
waiting for farmers insurance to pay the claim or some other company, which they will get paid. So I'm happy to report my agency had a record week last week.
let's go.
247 applications for 215,000 APV in 7 days.
Wow.
And we're going to break $1 million this month. That's our goal. I've never done a million in terms of new premium. We've done 800,000 several times. I think once we broke 900,000. It's a 5-week turn in October. So, it's about, yeah, we all want to make, and plus the fact I'll make a lot of money too, but making a lot of money and then having the heart space to say, wow, the people that support me in the home office. And
Yeah.
I've talked to friends that literally have the clothes on their back. That's it. Well, why don't you go home and get a suitcase and get some clothes? My home doesn't exist. My clothes, my computer, my memories, my life has floated down the river. It's debris all over, mixed with all my neighbors. So
It's
you think
crazy.
about the insurance business. We're still operating, Cody. Some of our
Yeah.
agents, I got to, as soon as we're done with this podcast, I got to get on the phone with my agents in Fort Myers, Tampa, St. Pete, Orlando, all up and down Florida, because a bunch of my agents were in the direct hit zone. Was chatting with them last night. I haven't heard from a couple this morning. I'm a little nervous. It could just be that the cell towers are out. The
Sure.
good news is for us with the hurricane in Sawananoa, none of our people died. All of our people survived. Praise Jesus for that one, because there's
Wow. Amen.
over 200 dead bodies in the county were in Nashville. I think that's what the count is. So you look at the insurance business. If you had a regular job, let's say you owned a gym, you worked hard to build your gym and get customers. Well, your building is gone now because the hurricane just wiped it out. Where's your income coming from?
Yeah, ain't
You
getting it.
own a hair salon. You're a framing contractor. Well, you're not making money right now. Now you're going to be making a lot of money once the rebuilding starts, but you're going to have an interruption in your cash flow. Could be weeks, could be months.
Correct.
Just the nature of what we do. I mean, do people realize that we get paid every day, at multiple times a day, every single day? I mean, do we talk about that enough in the industry, Cody?
No.
Well,
No.
if you
It's
build
wild.
an agency, right? And maybe you're working with Mutual of Omaha, or maybe you're working with Americo, or you're working with John Hancock, you're working with American Amicable and Foresters, and all these big carriers that we all work with, right?
Yep.
If you're new, when you underwrite a policy and get it approved, you're paid tomorrow, the next day. So if you've done the 3 to 5 year plan, right, and you have agents all over the country, well, I've brought in 520 clients. My agency's brought in 33,000 clients, Cody.
Jeez.
33,000. in 8 years, 2 months, and 10 days. So how can I sit here and do this? Well, because every month when the carriers draft those clients' bank accounts, they go, well, whose license? Well, that's Cody's license. Oh, we got to pay Cody some money. If Cody was on my team,
Mm,
they'd say, well, who mentored and helped Cody? Oh, well, Eric Ondrick did. Okay, well, Eric's out of Boise. We've got to give Eric a little piece of that. Well, who helped Eric? Oh, that would be Darin Stubbs. So we got to give him some money. I mean, this just goes on in perpetuity.
it's cool.
And sometimes, Cody, I don't think people get that part.
They don't. I don't think they do either. Yeah, they don't.
So when you're at the beginning and you're struggling and you see, and it's humbling, I was just at a conference. I spoke twice. There was like 5,000 people on the main stage. And when I
That's awesome.
spoke there briefly, it was really very cool interview with Brandon Ellison, the CEO. He interviewed a group of us, and I was crying, man. It was really touching. And I'm one of the speakers. And then my breakout had almost 800 people in it, Cody. 800 for my breakout. And
Wow.
I don't see myself as a big deal. I'm just like Darin from Boise, nice guy, father, grandfather, plays the trumpet, travels a lot, loves people. And it's really humbling. I was with some new agents that are walking with me, and I can't walk more than 4 steps, and someone stops me, and hey, nice to meet you, and hey, can we take a selfie with you? Yeah, sure, and it's really humbling. And I
Mm-hmm.
want you to know, and I tell people all the time, 8 years, 2 months, 10 days ago, I was you. I was at the beginning. And brother, I struggled. I almost quit. I can't even tell you how many times I almost quit.
Mm.
But I kept thinking what Steve Covey teaches from 7 Highly Effective Habits. I know you know where I'm
Mm.
going with this.
Yeah.
Begin with the
And
end in mind. And I think our industry has a template. It's already all mapped out for you. And at our company, the comp plan is not printed in pink for girls and blue for boys. It's the same comp plan for everyone. It's the same levels of leadership for everyone. I mean, you've been around enough Symmetry people. You've
yeah,
got young men and women in their 20s that have been with the company a few years making millions. Is that true or false, Cody? 20 year
true,
olds, 25,
true.
29, 27. Okay, you've got, from my point of view, at 59, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and maybe you heard this guy, Danny Young, who's 77 and lives in Louisiana, has a big old thick accent, who started at 67 years old.
Mm.
Started. So if you're in your 50s and 60s, oh, I'm too old. That's a limitation you're putting in your own mind. Do the
Exactly.
insurance carriers care how old you are if you have a license?
No.
If you're acting with integrity and following the underwriting guidelines, do they care that you're 65 years old and you're going to go out there in the field and bring in new customers? They don't
No.
care. So we don't care if you're black, white, fit, fat, short, tall, male. In fact, 54% of the agents in Symmetry Financial are women.
Mm.
52% of all the agency owners are women. There are more women, successful agents, and more female agency owners in Symmetry than there are men.
That's
So when I hear all
cool.
this, oh, men, the patriarchy, I'm like, girl, I'm sorry, ladies, I'm going to be a little mean right now. Shut the hell up and go to work.
Mm.
Stop complaining. Stop saying it's this fault of the BS. Get in. Be humble, coachable, teachable, trainable. Follow instructions. Surrender
Yeah,
to a process. You're still going to work your ass off. And then, my God, just be willing to receive some coaching once in a while.
that's
If you
right.
can do that, well, then we should be doing a podcast, and this will be you from whatever favorite vacation spot you want to go to.
Amen. Amazing, brother, dude. I always enjoy hanging with you. So many good things, so many good nuggets. I could also literally hang out for hours. We've traveled around the country together. Darren and I've done
We
a
have.
lot together. If they want to learn more from you and what you guys are doing, man, what should they do, or where should they go?
Well, I've got a little landing page, workinsurancenow.com. Your name. Okay. Look, it's a funnel page. We have to have a process. And I'm going to be honest, you cannot talk to me on the phone until you've watched the videos. I'm not going to waste my time
Mm.
because everything is a test, Cody. You see, if you can't follow instructions to go put your name, your address, your email, referred by Darin from Cody Askins, and then enter the website and watch a grand total of about 22 minutes of videos, if you can't do that, if you were me, would you talk to them or would you say, hey, man, best of luck, pass?
Mm.
Well,
That's good.
yeah, I'm going to pass if you can't follow the first instruction. Google my name, you can get my cell phone number. But if you get me, call me. I'm going to ask you, did you watch the videos? You say no, or you try to fake it. I'll find out real quick that you haven't watched the videos. And the reason I want that, let's be honest, how can we have a conversation if we don't have some common knowledge well to pull from,
Mm.
right? See, by you watching the videos, when you get on the phone with me, you have some basic understanding of what it is and what we do. Um, you can do that. You can email me, just darinstubbs@gmail.com. Don't slam me, don't spam me. I don't mind giving my email address out because I block people off all the time that don't follow instructions. You're spamming me, put you in the block category. Now you can't email me anymore.
That's right.
And I just think it's worth the conversation, because if you are not happy where you're at, I don't care if you're 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, if you're highly educated, I've got buddies that have multiple degrees that can't really make any money with all those years they went to school.
Mm.
Just because you have a bunch of degrees, yes, you're smart, you went to college, I got it. Now
Yeah.
get your pride and ego out of the way, get humble, go to one of Cody's webinars, seminars, learn the industry, come find a mentor and coach like me, and let's go make some money together by helping people. You see, that's the
Yeah.
trick.
Let's do it.
Go focus on other people first. You do that long enough, money will literally pour into your bank account. I get paid
Well,
5 to 10 times a day, every banking day. It's staggering. Part of my morning routine,
awesome.
check my emails, do all that stuff, log into Chase Bank, and then go look at my operating account. Go, like, there were 7 of them while I was sleeping here on the island. While I was sleeping, 7 deposits for about $3,200 last night from 7 different carriers.
It's cool.
I mean, is there a better business plan than this, Cody? If there is, I don't believe it. And if someone says there is, I'm not going to leave what I built, because it's not too good to be true. It just takes a few years to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people,
It does.
in our instant society, don't want to pay full price. They want to try to get a discount. Well,
Yeah.
you've been around this thing long enough. If you want to build a big agency, is there a way to shortcut it or cheat it?
No.
Work hard,
That's right.
follow instructions. And
Amen.
yes, you're going to make thousands of phone calls. And
For
some
sure.
people are going to tell you to F off. Hey, you know what? Maybe they're having a bad day. Just
Amen.
God bless you. Leave a positive wake behind yourself, because maybe they're not going to buy it today, but 6 months from now or 2 years from now, if
Yeah.
you're not a jerk on the phone to them, maybe one of your agents calls them 2 years from now. I spoke to this guy Darin a couple of years ago. He was pretty cool, but we just weren't interested. Versus, yeah, I spoke to this jerk off 2 years ago. Screw you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because why would you taint the well of potential customers?
Mm.
I see people do that. I'm like, whoa, time out. You work for Symmetry. I work with Symmetry. So don't leave negative wake behind yourself. I mean, just be positive and accept that, hey, you
Yeah.
know what? Today that person didn't want to buy, so I better make some more dials today and tomorrow, and then I will sort and find the right recruits, and I'm going to sort and find the right customers and clients. Just stay
Amen.
at it.
Let's go. Dude, welcome back. Thanks for being on. Appreciate you.
Thanks for letting me ramble on, brother.
Dude, you're good, man. Thank you, Darin Stubbs. Also, appreciate you guys hanging with us on the Power Player podcast. If you haven't tried Kaboom Leads, you can go to kaboomleads.com, use coupon code YouTube, and get 10% off your first order. Thanks for hanging. Check out what Darin is doing, and we'll see you on the next episode. Adios.